90.3 WHPC now presents Law You Should Know. The law affects every aspect of our lives, our home, our jobs, and our recreational activities. Now, learn about the law and how to protect yourself against the loss of your liberty or property, and learn how to stand up for your rights and seek compensation when you have been wronged. Your host for Law You Should Know is attorney Kenneth J. Landau, a past dean of the Nassau Academy of Law, and frequently lectures to lawyers on ethics and avoiding problems with clients, and to the public on how to choose and use lawyers. This is Law You Should Know on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome to Law You Should Know. Today, we're delighted to have the new president of the New York County Lawyers Association, Adrienne Koch, as our guest on Law You Should Know. She's going to tell us about how that bar association is emerging from COVID and why lawyers who practice in Manhattan, go to Manhattan, have an office in Manhattan, are welcome to join that bar association and participate in their activities, and also pro bono services that lawyers can get involved with, and pro bono services available to the public. Adrienne, welcome to Law You Should Know.
Thank you so much for having me.
And just to start us off, just tell us about the history and origins of the New York County Lawyers Association.
Well, the New York County Lawyers Association, which we call NYCLA for short, was formed in 1908, and it was the first major bar association in the country to admit members without regard to race, ethnicity, religion, or gender. And frankly, it was organized in large part in order to provide a place for folks who had been excluded from other bar associations on those bases. We have a mission statement on our website that contains a lot more detail, but in broad terms, our mission falls into three categories. First, to promote the administration of justice, including a strong and independent judiciary. Second, something that you mentioned, to facilitate the provision of free legal services for those in need on a pro bono basis. And third, to advance the profession, both through legal education and by fostering standards of integrity, honor, courtesy, and collegiality.
And the Bar Association and lawyers, young and old, need all those things. And in terms of new members, you welcome if lawyers who have not been involved in your association, they're welcome to get involved at any stage of their legal career. But you also have, you welcome law students and new lawyers, and you give them a special deal on membership.
Absolutely. At first, as you said, all are welcome. And we actually have members all over the world. Our headquarters is here in New York, but particularly now that so much is done virtually, people can participate from anywhere. But to your point, both for law students and for people in their first year of practice, membership is free.
And also, as we emerge from COVID and new lawyers and law students, it's always important to network for support, for job leads, for just exchanging ideas about the practice of law and new and important areas. And you have many programs to encourage that, especially as we emerge from COVID, for in-person networking.
Absolutely, we do. And for quite some time, as we all know, everything had to be done virtually. And we pivoted to that, and we're quite successful in maintaining our robust offering of programs, both continuing legal education programs for lawyers and other kinds of programs more of interest to the public. We were able to continue those virtually, and a lot of that is still offered virtually. But now that people are coming back to in-person format, we have also brought back the in-person component to many of those programs. And we have events that are designed to bring the bench and bar together, like our upcoming Law Day lunch, which is an event that had to be suspended for a number of years because of COVID. It's finally back. It'll be members of the bench and bar from all walks of practice getting together to celebrate what's good about our profession. And events like that are coming back online, and we're truly, truly thrilled about it because people are hungry for it, and they've been very well received.
So if people haven't been involved in person events, you have some events they can attend. Social. You also have a robust CLE program, continuing legal education programs for lawyers, including the necessary classes for new lawyers.
Absolutely. And again, those continue to be offered virtually as they were throughout the pandemic. But now we are, for many of them, offering also an in-person component for people who want to come and participate in person and have an opportunity to meet the other folks who are there, which was always a really important part of these CLE events as well.
And that can lead to all kinds of good things. And those courses include courses that allow lawyers to learn the latest in practice and the latest hot topics, and as well as refresher classes.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't have put it better. We have a real broad range of CLE topics. So the matters range from real bread and butter kinds of things like trial practice or how to avoid mistakes in estate planning, to new developments in the law or matters currently on the docket of the Supreme Court. And anything else you can imagine in between.
And I assume that some of the big areas are coming up in law are about AI or artificial intelligence, how the real estate market may change after, COVID and downsizing, mortgage foreclosures, bankruptcy. These areas are all evolving as we're on new territory, let's say after COVID.
That's absolutely true. And we are fortunate at NYCLA to have a broad and diverse membership in terms of it on many measures, but one of them is in terms of practice areas. And so we have people, because a lot of the CLE programming comes out of what is of interest to our committees and our membership. And we have people who are practicing in all of these areas, and so who are able to help us put together a very, very fine programming in their own areas of focus.
You always will run social programs and networking programs to meet the needs of your members, especially as we emerge from COVID.
Absolutely. And one other thing I'd like to mention in that regard, because you said social programs and networking programs, and those are very, very important. Another program that we have that we're very proud of is a mentoring program where we will pair more junior lawyers with more senior lawyers in I don't want to say formal, but somewhat more programmed way where we encourage them to meet at regular intervals. We give them topics that they might want to address with one another. And the idea is to give our more junior members access to some of the experience and dare I say wisdom of some of our more senior members, particularly those who might not be in a place where they have access to that kind of mentorship in a firm. Perhaps they're not in a traditional firm setting, or they're working in an alternative kind of setting. And so we try to provide a pathway for that as well.
And you also have library resources and perhaps office resources where your members can come there for a few hours or maybe after court, do some legal research, perhaps, do their own social networking.
We do. And that has been a feature of NYCLA on an ongoing basis, and it continues to be. Obviously, what it means to be a library has evolved over time. We used to have a lot of books, and now we have computer terminals, but the function is still the same.
You're located in Lower Manhattan, so people are able to, welcome to come there after they take care of their legal work, after they go to court in Lower Manhattan or let's say downtown Brooklyn.
We have always been in downtown Manhattan. It is where we call our home, and we're there precisely for the reason you flagged, the proximity to the courts.
I know that your Bar Association encourages pro bono activities and invites lawyers and law students and lawyers young and old, or lawyers who want to learn something new or want to help out all those people that need help, what are some of the many pro bono programs that you can help support your members and also help people in need of those services for free?
We have a very robust suite of pro bono offerings. I believe last year we served over 3,000 people through these programs. We have, I'll just give a couple of examples. We have a program where volunteer lawyers go to the tax court and help people who are proceeding on their own without other counsel with matters in the tax court. Just on a one-off kind of basis, they're there to consult and assist. This is a service both to the taxpayer, quite obviously, but also to the court. The judges do report that it helps them to have a lawyer untangle things and present the case in a way that a lawyer is trained to do and a layperson is not. So that's a program that has been very successful. We have a program where people represent folks in Social Security appeals from denials of benefits. We have programs where people give legal advice on matters involving consumer debt, helping veterans upgrade their discharge status, which is a very big issue. People who have received less than an honorable discharge for reasons that might have to do with post-traumatic stress syndrome and the like, and a wide range of those kinds of offerings. We also have a new program that I'd like to mention. It's right now in a pilot phase, but we have partnered with the Appellate Division First Department to provide pro bono representation to self-represented parties in certain kinds of appellate proceedings involving family law matters and appeals from agency decisions. And again, that's the sort of thing that is a service to the individual client, but also to the court in helping them better process these matters.
I would just like to remind our listeners that you're listening to Law You Should Know. Our special guest is Adrienne Koch, a partner in the firm of Katsky Korins, who's the new president of NYCLA, the New York County Lawyers Association. And you're listening to Law You Should Know on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, New York. If you missed any portion of this program or want to tell someone else about it, just go to nccradio.org. The programs you mentioned, Adrienne, the volunteers, young or old, are not going into those programs cold. You help provide training for those lawyers. You help provide support for those lawyers so they can do a good job and learn new legal skills, helping those members of the public and have a valuable experience out of it. Absolutely.
We would never send somebody in cold. And we also recognize that the areas in which we are providing pro bono services are not necessarily areas in which our volunteers come to us with experience already. So we have programs and materials to train them so that they will be ready and able to handle the matters that they then handle through us.
And the experience can be very valuable and rewarding to the attorney volunteer as well as the person they're helping.
Absolutely, on a variety of levels. I mean, obviously, it gives them some experience and some new knowledge of an area of the law they might not have been familiar with, or opportunities to speak in court, handle matters that perhaps they might not have been able to do in their own practice setting. But of course, there's also the other very obvious and very important component, which is the satisfaction of knowing that you helped someone, and that's really important as well.
And aside from that, they're learning new skills, and they're also networking with other lawyers and perhaps judges, and perhaps that will lead to other things.
I think that's right, and I know that we have heard reports both formally and anecdotally that with respect to our programs that involve appearing in court, the judges really appreciate it. And they do acknowledge when somebody is appearing pro bono, The judges no one understands that the judges know and understand that the person is appearing pro bono, and they will very often express their appreciation for that.
And I just want to emphasize again that your bar association is providing them with training and support, and someone doesn't have to live within, Manhattan to help take advantage of these opportunities. And it's a great thing for young lawyers to do. They develop their skills, make all kinds of contacts, and pro bono work, doing work for free, is very important to someone's legal career and the practice of law.
Absolutely.
And I think you also help remove convictions that may be acting as a bar, or wrongful convictions that may act as a bar to someone getting licenses or housing or even a job.
We do. We have a program in that space that helps to clear up convictions or criminal records that can be addressed in a way that might enable somebody to appropriately get certain kinds of licensing or certain kinds of employment.
And of course, the value that you and the volunteer lawyers you're giving someone their life back. You're giving them a chance to work, earn a living, be a productive member of society. And perhaps they were wrongfully convicted, or they have paid their dues and they just want to go on with their lives. And that conviction has acted as a bar to them.
Correct. Absolutely.
In terms of socialization and other programs, what are some of the committees that you have as part of the Bar Association that members can also participate in, network, and learn new skills?
Our committees, NYCLA's committees, are one of the great things about NYCLA. Because let me just take a step back and describe our open committee system. We have a system where anyone who wants to join any committee can join any committee they want to join. You can join a committee the moment you join NYCLA. There is no application process or anything like that. And the work of our committees is really driven by their members. So anyone can serve, anyone can be involved, and anyone who has an idea can help bring it to fruition through our committees. And our committees do great work. We have committees addressing issues ranging from the various courts in our court system to substantive issues of law, criminal practice, matrimonial and family law, all sorts of, intellectual property, employment law, anything you can imagine.
And what are some of the more unusual or esoteric committees that other bar associations may not have? Do you have admiralty law, something like that?
Well, we do have an animal law committee.
Oh, animal law, that's an important one.
Our committees do really great work, and I'll just sort of in the past year, NYCLA committees have issued statements and reports on issues ranging from the electronic filing of court documents to the current controversies over efforts to restrict access to mifepristone and other forms of reproductive care, and anything you can imagine in between. It's really there is the only limits are the ideas and creativity of the members.
And again, this is a very important experience for law students, for new lawyers, for even more senior lawyers. It's a chance to weigh in on some of these ideas, to help problem solve, and to network with other lawyers. It may lead to all kinds of things, and may lead to support, maybe new fields that you didn't study in law school or were not available at your law school.
Well, that's really true. And I guess I would say on a personal note, one of the things that attracted me to bar association work, and one of the reasons why I stayed in bar associations as long as I have, is because it is an opportunity to work collaboratively with people outside of your own usual work circle. Even if you work in a firm and you work with colleagues all the time, it's a great opportunity to be able to go and work with people other than the people you work with day to day, who might have different practices, different viewpoints, different experiences, and you learn from that, and you work on projects together, you meet other people, and you learn. And it's a really, really great experience. And it's something that I think bar associations uniquely offer, and NYCLA does a very good job of it.
And also, stepping back, traditionally, if you're a litigator, you may be in an adversarial relationship with other lawyers. And even in your firm, you may be sensitive about relaxing or learning about new things or being social. So the Bar Association, through the committees, have a chance for you to collaborate, to learn, to support, and make contacts.
That's absolutely true. And I will also add another little spin to what you said, which is there have been times when I have come up against somebody as an adversary that I knew through bar associations. And it doesn't change the way you litigate the case. You're always going to be the best advocate you can be for your client. But when the person on the other side is someone you know in that other kind of context, it can make dealing with each other easier because you have a basis of understanding, a basis of respect, and it makes a difference if people in the legal community know each other.
And that's true when you go to court. If maybe you've met some judges through the committee work or at a lecture at the Bar Association, so the relationship is going to be a little different and perhaps a little more easygoing if you know them through the Bar Association.
I think that's right. I would be very, very careful to say, and this is really important, nobody's ever going to get any favoritism as a result of that. Never, ever. But I do think that you feel more at ease if you know the judge already, and I think it helps in terms of
you're a more familiar face to them. You might be treated with a little more respect, and of course, you should be giving respect.
Yes, well, everybody should always treat each other with respect. But I do think that, as I said before, when people know each other, that comes easier. There's more of there's less of a tendency to assume ill intent if you know somebody going in and you kind of think you know where they're coming from. And
some lawyers and judges can be a little curt, because of a lack of familiarity with someone.
Lawyers, judges, curt? Really? No. Yes. Obviously, I'm joking. It's true. And, people are busy and people can be brusque for all kinds of reasons, having nothing to do with anything personal, but that's true.
Can you give us the website again for lawyers to find out more about membership and the pro bono programs and other committees and CLE programs for NYCLA, the New York County lawyers?
Of course. It's NYCLA.org, NYCLA.org.
And the public can also go there, too, to find out about these pro bono programs.
Absolutely.
Do you have any other suggestions for your members and attorneys who are members of any bar association on how to get the most out of that membership? They've taken that first step. They've joined. How can they make that more meaningful for themselves and their legal career?
The first step is to join. People should join bar associations. I'm a big, big advocate of that. But once you join, don't just join and forget about it, or join and, use it for the discount on your gym membership or whatever thing it gives you. Join and participate. NYCLA has, as I mentioned, there are dozens of committees that people can join. We've got programs. If you don't feel like joining a committee, go to a program, go to a CLE, go to an event, participate, because that's how you get the most out of a bar association. And look, what makes law a profession rather than just a job, at least in part, is the ability of lawyers together to participate in the regulation of the profession, the development of the law, and all of the kinds of things that bar associations are not the only organizations that do, but bar associations do it well. And the easiest way to participate in that part of legal life is to join a bar association and be active.
And the new school is that lawyers should also collaborate in solving problems of their clients, and you're helping to move lawyers and the legal community in that direction.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a very big believer in collaboration. I think ideas are always improved by being shared and vetted and poked around. There's a reason why the saying "two heads are better than one" has been around for so long, and sometimes 3 or 4 heads are even better.
And also within NYCLA, there are always opportunities for leadership development, which can give you personal satisfaction. It may help make you an expert. It may be impressive to clients or your legal career. Plus, you might be doing good for the bar and for yourself.
Absolutely. And we have, all of our committees have chairs and co-chairs and vice chairs, and people are given those leadership opportunities based on their participation. We always look for budding leaders to mentor through the ranks. We have people we bring onto the board. We have young lawyers on our board, as well as older, more seasoned lawyers. So there is a lot of leadership opportunity within our organization.
And of course, it's very tough being lawyers, and many of them are in a stress-filled profession. You provide some support or resources for those people who need a helping hand or some other intervention.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the ability to collaborate and work together and have sometimes just the human contact is really important.
In just a moment, what other programs would you like to see the Bar Association become more involved, or lawyers to be more involved with the Bar Association?
You mean like specific programs?
Yeah, anything else that you would like the Bar Association to offer, or ways you would like to encourage lawyers to get more involved in the Bar Association?
Well, I certainly would like to encourage lawyers to get more involved in the Bar Association. And, as I said, one of the things that NYCLA does a lot through its committees is offer programs and produce reports, and the creativity and ideas of the individual lawyers who join the committees are what drives the product that NYCLA puts out. So the next program could be the brainchild of an idea that some member who joins tomorrow brings us.
Okay. I would like to thank Adrienne Koch from a firm of Katsky Korins, the new president of the New York County Lawyers Association, NYCLA, for being our guest on Law You Should Know. You can find out more about joining NYCLA and all these programs by going to NYCLA.org. If you missed any part of the program, please go to the website of Law You Should Know at nccradio.org here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, Long Island, New York.